let's do the front of the chest, but if you can, well, okay, so this is sort of silly, but let's just think about this. So this region around here, like you've got your sternum, and then up towards the top of the sternum, there's like your collarbones. And that area right there is the top of your rib cage, which, maybe isn't that profound of a thought, at least for me it wasn't, but look at this. Here's the bottom of my rib cage, and this is the top of the rib cage. So, we're actually like 14 or 16 inches away, the bottom of the rib cage compared to the top of the rib cage. That's kind of interesting. The other thing about here is that this is, you might have heard of this part of your body. It's popular with some people. It's called the neck. You might know about your neck. Your neck, this is the bottom of your neck, right around in here too. So, kind of a good place to start to perceive, but in my experience, I don't have very much sense around there at all. So first, maybe like take your ball, and you could do this with your fingers or you could do this with the ball. But if you think of your neck, it's almost like a little skirt. Like there's your neck and then there's the bottom of the neck. We're going to either with your fingertips or the balls, sort of dig in around like the bottom of your neck, right above your collarbone, kind of dig into that area and start to pull it up a bit. And you're just going to sort of work your way around the rim of your bottom of your neck, top of your rib cage. And I think it's pretty common to not really have much feeling in this area. So there could be something novel happening, like, whoa. And maybe do a sweep back. And, doing a comparison, the right side versus the left side is always useful because there's probably different utilization. So that might be a good thing to just start doing. Also just feeling around. I think that if we're intending to start to get more of a consciousness in this region, your fingers are going to tell you a tale that you're not going to have if you try to just sense. So if you give yourself tactile feedback, it's going to be really helpful as well. So now we're laying down, putting the ball, but this time, we've done the sternum. So anywhere between the bottom of where your bra is all the way up to the collarbones. Let's be more towards the top bit as you lay down. And then if anybody feels like they're not quite getting enough feedback, you could put a rolled up towel or a rolled up yoga mat or something at the bottom part of the rib cage. And then from here, first, you want to have your head resting down and more or less centered versus rotated right or rotated left. Forehead towards the ground. And just take a couple of breaths here thinking about the doing is the linking of the ribs and the pelvis. Forehead towards the ground, so hopefully you're lengthening the back of your neck and then melting onto the ball. And as you breathe here, just starting to tune in, is it easy to make contact with the ball there with that more top part of the rib cage? Or are you somehow rounded enough through your rib cage that it's actually hard to even get weight onto the ball in this place? And the doing is the linking of the ribs and the pelvis. And the non-doing is the melting over the ball, being easygoing with that top part of your sternum that's contacting the ball. If you're not already there, you can put your arms into a goalpost position, or a capital E position is what Art of Motion calls it. And then we're going to start doing the pull and push with your arms just to roll the ball a little bit across this top part of the sternum. So maybe your right hand pulls and your left hand pushes, and you can roll the ball a little bit to the left. And then the other way, left hand pulls, right arm pushes, and you roll the ball a little bit to the right. Back to the doing, you're linking your ribs and your pelvis whilst pulling with your arms, and then doing that rolling one way, linking ribs and pelvis whilst pulling with the arms, and the other way. And just starting to pay attention, can you pick up on any nuances between your left side and your right side? Does one side of your sternum have a different vibe than the other side? We'll do one more time each way, and remember the doing versus the non-doing. Linking the ribs and the pelvis deliberately, that's the doing. Yep. Okay, and then we're going to come back towards centered. And let's just do a little bit of swan, but maybe this time instead of swan with the arms in the capital E position, explore another position. The choices might be shoulder height or even a little bit lower. Let's play around with just somewhere with your arms south of your shoulders. So start with your head down, and again, make sure the ball's in a good spot. It's kind of got your attention. And then from here, deliberately linking ribs and pelvis, and then start to curl, lift mostly forward on the ball, but then a little bit up. Mostly forward, a little bit up. As you head up, imagine your pubic bone getting lifted, and then we'll ease down just a bit. And then again, more forward, more up. As you come a little more up into the swan, think of the pubic bone getting lifted, and then back down. One more time. And then we'll come all the way back down, 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 and head over the ball. Feel free to put your arms in a slightly different position and then just rock a little bit side to side. So this time, as we start to go up, that area that we were massaging at the front of the throat, if you, instead of it being concave, start to think of it being a little bit convex, right where, like, if you had a short necklace, where that would be touching. So let's come down, linking ribs and pelvis again, and then as you go forward, think of going forward through your throat and your collarbones and trying to make that junction a little bit convex versus concave. Inhale up, and then exhale to ease down a little bit. And again, as you go forward, think of the base of your neck, the bottom of the neck in the front going convex versus concave. And then ease down a little. One more time. More forward, more up. Asking for that concavity at the base of the neck, top of the rib cage. And then you can lower back down. And again, when your forehead rests on the ground, then you are more hollowed at the front of your neck. Not so much of that convex, but a little more concave. Rock a little side to side. We're going to do it just one more time. So put your arms back so they're south of your shoulders, linking tailbone to pubic bone to breastbone, and then heading mostly forward and up. Can you open the base of the throat forward? Inhale, and then exhale to ease down a bit. And then more forward, more up. And then exhale to ease down a bit. And then one more time, the most forward, even a little bit more up. And then we'll come all the way back down, down, down. Good. And then let's take the ball out. And we'll just take a breath or two there to kind of sense coming to life without the ball underneath you. And then we'll come up onto hands and knees. If you'd like yoga blocks underneath your hands, feel free to grab them. We're going to do the shift back with the curl forward. So, standing into your arms. And as you're here, start to pay attention to your neck orientation. Are you concave there at the front of your throat again? Can you imagine that area being a little bit opened up, like a little bit more of a convexity versus a concavity? Top of the rib cage, bottom of the neck. So pull on the arms. You're in a straight back position as you shift back. And then pull a little bit on the arms. Let's curl forward into the rounded. Relax through the head and the neck and stop when your shoulders are over your hands. Now from here, we're going back into a flat back position. Start with your head and your neck. Straightening. Now think again of the throat being just a little bit open versus clamped shut. And then curling forward. Even here as you do your curl forward, there at the bottom of your neck, the base of your throat, can you keep a little bit of an open sense there? 2 more. Return to the flat back position. And then start to push off the arms, shifting back with a straight back. And then again, pull a little right and left on the arms as we curl forward. Last time. Flat back, pull a little right and left on the arms as you shift back. And then again, we'll curl forward. From there, tuck the toes underneath. We're going to stand into the feet and then just walk forward and start to upright the pelvis and roll up. If you've got bone density considerations, come up another way. If you're coming up, really think about the support that's coming from the pelvic floor, gathering, abdominals lifting. Okay, now that we're upright, let's just do the releves with the arm floats for now. So we'll even do parallel legs. And remember how we were leading with the pinky fingers. So rock into your toes, float your arms up. They're about shoulder height, 30 degrees in front, and then back down. If you've got the benefit of a screen that you can evaluate your movements in, check yourself out. Are you going up mostly on your left leg? Are you going up equally? How's this going for you? And down. 2 more. One more. Okay. Let's keep going with our side body agenda so we can put all this together into something fun. It's right week. So now we're going to go up, up, up. Stretch up and over towards the right. Your right side starts to hug in. Waist, ribs, even through the collarbone, even through the neck, even through the ears. And then lower the right arm. We'll lift it and lower it 5 times. Lift. When you're here at the bottom, think the bottom arm pushes, the top arm reaches. And lift. Again, the bottom arm pushes, the top arm reaches, and lift. Think of linking tailbone curling to the pubic bone curling to the breastbone. One more time. Okay, now to come out of it, we're going to do it with a domino. So lower the left arm out. That starts to soften the left side. And then touch. Again, we're going to use the hands to just touch the top of the shoulder. And then as you slowly curl your way up, sort of walk your hands up so you're at the bottom of your neck. Walk your hands up the side of your neck all the way towards your ear and then soften. And again, sort of feel that left side. Now the left side is being soft, from the ear all the way to the left shoulder. And then we'll come back up. Let's just do one roll down. If you've got bone density concerns, insert releves or anything you want to make up that you are going to repeat a few times. So curling, keeping an upright pelvis as you curl forward. And just hover there and take 3 breaths. Upright as you can be with the pelvis. And then we'll start to roll our way back upright. So we're going to open up the left side additionally this time. So we're going to head up again, second variation. So reach up, go up long, and then the same tip to the right. It's the right side coaxing in. The pelvis, the rib cage, the collarbones, the neck, even the ears. And then meet me with the right arm lowered. So lean to the left. You sway to the left so your left side starts to open a bit as you lift your right arm up. And then ease off so there's less of a tensile, a tautness about you. As you lean to the left, get more taut through the left side as you float the right arm up. And then as you come out of it, you take an ease off. Again, lean to the left, and as you lean to the left, float the right arm up. And down. Pause here, get a little bit of the push into the bottom hand, reach through the top hand, and give me 2 more. And out. Here at the bottom, get a little isometric. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top, and then 1 more. And then from here, we're going to domino out. So again, the left arm comes out. And then touch. Feel your shoulder. And then as you come up, you're going to kind of walk along your deltoids and then walk up your traps to the bottom of the neck, up the side of the neck, all the way up towards the ear. Let that whole region soften. Kind of feel it so you can start to become familiar with the landscape of your neck. And then up. Speaking of, we're going to do a roll down and let's touch this region again. And now you're like Magnum PI. All you're doing is just checking out what's going on in the collarbone, top of the sternum region as you do the roll down. We'll do the same thing, the 3-breath hover. And then take a couple breaths there. You can choose if you keep touching your upper sternum, collarbones, or if you want to relax through your arms. 1 more breath, as upright as you can manage with your pelvis. And then recommit to upright pelvis as you roll your way up. Good. Okay, let's do the same thing over onto the left. So, uprighting your pelvis, float the arms up. Lift up, and then the left side coaxes into the right side now. Waist, lower ribs, upper ribs, collarbones, neck, head. And then once you get there, lower the left arm down. Pause here. Do the push through the bottom hand, the reach through the top hand. Once you've got that sense, float. Again, reach through the bottom, or push through the bottom, reach through the top, float. 3 more. Yep. Can you link your tailbone to the pubic bone to the breastbone, a little bit extra. 1 more time. Push through the bottom hand, reach to the top. Nice. Okay, from here, let's domino out. So we're going to lower the arm. And then once you get there, maybe touch your shoulder, and then you can walk along that soft tissue. It's your deltoids heading up into the trapezius, and then it's the bottom of the neck, up to the side of the neck, all the way towards the ear, and feel that whole territory from ear, neck to shoulder softening. And then we'll come back upright. We're doing another roll down, and let's, again, fingers towards the collarbones just to sense what's happening. Upright the pelvis, and then heading forward. Eyebrows leading to the scalp, getting taut, leading to the neck, getting taut, leading to the upper back, leading to the rib cage. And then 1 more time, hover for the 3 breaths. And then we'll start to roll back upright. Okay, 1 more time, we're going to add the sway into the right side. So we'll lengthen up. Once you hit upright, again, the left side hugs into the right to get you into your long side bend, and then lower your arm down. So as you float up the left arm, we're shifting to the right. So additional stretch tension through the right side. Relax. And again, 2, swaying to the as we float the left arm up. And 3. Think of curling tailbone towards the pubic bone towards the breastbone. Try to get a little more reach, push through the bottom hand, reach through the top, especially if you're hypermobile. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. Let's do one more because I just got it good. Reach, push through the bottom arm, reach through the top. Good. Now, the right side's going to soften, so send the arm out. That'll help you come up, and then again, if you want to trace it, follow it from the shoulder, up to the bottom of the neck, up to the top of the neck, up to the ear. And then we'll come back up. We're going to go down to the floor, but let's do one more roll down to get there. If you liked touching your collarbones, please continue. So upright the pelvis as we start to over and forward. Keeping that uprightness for 3 breaths. After the 3rd breath, do the fold forward. So bend your knees, let the pelvis tip forward over the thighs. And then from there, even further inverted with the pelvis as your spine falls into gravity. Straighten the legs. It's called the leg stretch. And bend. And again, invert your pelvis. And as you do, think of the spine falling into gravity. All the spaces between the vertebrae. Maybe you can envision spaces between the ribs. 3 more. Last 2. One more. Okay, and then from here, let's just walk the hands forward. Pull the arms apart and then start to lower down. Great. Okay, so this might be the last time we do this, guy, because we're going to put this whole thing together soon. But for now, right leg off to the side. If you know any other variation that's better for you, please do it. So start with the mermaid. We'll go up, open. And then the right side hugs towards the left. And as you get there, plant your hand on the leg. And right here, recommit to the push through the bottom hand, reach through the top hand. Keep thinking of the right side coaxing up into the left side. One more. And then from here, we're dominoing out. So the arm comes down. That right there is going to soften you through your left side. And then if you liked the tracking up again, you can trace your shoulder all the way to the bottom of the neck, all the way up the neck towards the ear, softening through your right side. And up. Now we add the spiral onto it because that's good for glide. Up, open. Do again. The right side hugs into the left side. Ribs start it, or no, waist, and then ribs. And then it's even the upper ribs, collarbones, neck, and head. Land and get that isometric. Again, the bottom arm pushes, the top arm reaches. Now we add the spiral. So the hand leads you as you spiral. The hand leads to the shoulder blade, and then eventually a spiraling through the ribs. Now meet me at the bottom, and before we abandon this, push through the bottom hand, and then reach through the top hand. 2 more. Push through the bottom, reach through the top. 1 more. And then from here, return to the side orientation. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top again. And then abandon it as you domino. That's the way to come out, is the domino. And then again, if you like that tracking, follow the line, deltoid into the trapezius, into the scalenes and the muscles there on the side of the neck, and up. One more time on that side. So we'll grow long and up, up, open. Right side hugs into the left, low. And then it's the ribs, and then the upper ribs. Once you plant your hand, push through the bottom hand and then reach through the top hand. Once you're real clear on that and on the spiral, it leads from the hand. And then your shoulder gets taken, and then the shoulder blade gets taken, and then the rib cage. And then however far you get, pause here and do the push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. Again, push through the bottom, reach through the top arm. Once more. Feel the strengthening through your whole shoulder girdle with that. And then we'll orient back forward. The right side presses up into the left side. And then one more domino. And then from here, let's start to stack back up. Again, tracing it along. Shoulder, bottom of the neck, upper neck, all the way towards the ear. And then we'll come back up. So let's do 3 more of the shift back, curl forward. So shoulders are over the hands, knees are over the pelvis. And then maybe you can tune into this front part of your neck again. Is it concave? If you drop your head, it's going to get concave. You want to see if it can be a little bit opened up. Push back with the straight back. And then curl forward. Pull a little right and left on your hands, heading over and forward. And then from the top down, pull on your arms and return to straight from the head, through the neck, to the upper back. And then it's called a folding at the hips. Push off your arms, and it's sort of a passive folding at your hips only as far as you know for sure you're straight. And then pull right and left on the arms as you curl forward. One last time. Pull right and left on the hands, and from the top down, return to flat. Head, neck, upper back. And then as you push back, hinge at your hips. And then curl forward. Okay. And then we're going to sit down and do the other side. So right leg is bent in and the left leg is out. So other side. So reach your arms up. Up. And then open. And then as you tip, left hand, left side feeds into the right. Plant your left hand and then reach to the right. So plant left, reach right. Do that isometric. One more. And then from here you can domino out, arm comes out, and then it's going to be the right side that softens. Once that's happened, touch your right shoulder and trace again. Take a little walk up the shoulder to the bottom of the neck, up towards the ear, and then soften. Feel the softening through your right side. And then we'll come up. 2 more, adding on spirals. Go up. Yep, open. Left side hugs into the right. It starts low in the waist, and then it moves into the ribs, upper ribs, collarbones, neck, head. Again, before we spiral, push to the bottom hand, reach to the top. Once you've got that real integrated and clear, start with the hand, linking to the shoulder blade, a spiral. Once you're spiraled, push to the bottom hand and reach to the top. 2 more. 1 more. And then from here, return to the side. Again, push through the left hand to coax your left side up into the right side. The right side is thereby opened. And then lower your arm. And then again, if you want to track that sequence up through the side of the neck. Waving through that tissue and then feeling it soften and rehydrate. And then back up. 1 last time. Up. Open, and then side bend. My 10-year-old's here making faces at me, trying to make me laugh. So push off the bottom hand, reach into the top. Once you're there, we add a spiral onto it. Your hand leads, and then the shoulder gets picked up, and then the shoulder blade gets picked up, and then the ribs start to spiral. And then once you get there, push through the bottom hand, reach to the top. 2 more. Push through the bottom, reach to the top, strengthening your shoulder girdle in this isometric way. And then we'll return back to the side orientation. underside coaxes into the top side. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. Then it breaks as you come out. And then we're going to stack up. Walk your way up, shoulder to the base of the neck. And over. Good job. Okay, from here, let's do that pattern one more time on the hands and knees. So we start in a straight back. Shoulders over the hands, pelvis over the knees. And then start to push back with the straight back. Only as far as you know for sure you're straight. Pull a little bit on the arms and then curl forward. And again, top down. Start from the head and then go in towards your neck, upper back, and then passively folding at the hips. Push off the arms and feel how your hips are folded. And then pull a little bit on the arms as we curl forward. And then one last time. Pull right and left. Start it from the top. Head, neck, upper back. Ribcage, pull on the arms as you shift back. Keep pulling on your arms as you curl your way forward. Okay, and then we'll sit back. And I want to start fooling around with sit back, curl up. So if you need a pad underneath your knees, grab it. This could also be executed standing, just the whole pattern, but up on your feet if you aren't great on your knees. But I would start with padding because sometimes they're just pressure sensitive. So speaking of the folding at the hips, so think of like Barbie. You know how Barbie had like the bottom of her pelvis and then her legs, and that was like the joint that moved? Put your fingers there in the creases because that's your joint that's going to move. It's pretty petite so that you can keep a fairly straight upper back, but fold at your hips so that you come down. You look a little bit like a Z in this moment. And then we're going to do the opposite, so it's the pelvic curl. Front of the pelvis gets curled up. Sits bones get pulled down towards the knees. That's abdominals and then hamstrings as you come back up. Do it again. So first we're going to send the hips in the folded position. So folding right here. Check it out. Make sure you didn't turn into a question mark. You still want a pretty straight linear spine. And then the opposite. Abdominals curl the pubic bone up. Hamstrings pull the sits bones down, and you work your way gradually back up. One more. Sit back. Fold at your hips. And then you'll curl forward. Again, abdominals curl up on the pubic bone. Hamstrings pull down on the sits bones as you come on up. Okay, from there, we're going to tuck the toes underneath. Stand into the legs. Walk the feet back forward. And let's roll up. And then once you're up, let's do the releves with the arm floats again. Up and down. And two. Up and down. Think of what we were saying last week, kitty cat tail. Tailbone links to the pubic bone curls to the breastbone. Two more. Tailbone to pubic bone to breastbone. One more time. And down. Okay, so you guys maybe remember the Synergy sequence that we were working on. We're going to do like a variation of it to get back down to the floor because that's what this is going to get combined with in December. So let's stand close to yoga blocks and just raise your arms up one more time. And then remember that squatting that we did. We actually just prepped for it. So lower your arms down. We're folding at the hips again so that when you land into your squat position, you can choose how low you go, but we want to be fairly linear. Even though you're angled forward, you want to be fairly linear. Let's hang on to this position for 10, 9. If your pelvis is a flashlight, aim it up at the rib cage and the head. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay there, just reach your arms forward. Then you can lay over your legs, and we already practiced this. Fold over your legs, invert your pelvis, and straighten your legs. And bend. Straighten. And bend. One more time. And bend. Okay, so now take your yoga blocks and put them close to your feet. We're going to plant your legs onto the blocks and come up. You might be on your blocks low. You might go up higher or even highest. It's called an active forward fold now. So instead of being passive and flopped like the slinky, now you're standing into your arms, and we want to engage the muscles through the back. Maybe you can again use your mirror or your screen to see, are you lifted up with your head or are you drop down with your head? Remember the float the throat, and then maybe tune into your collarbones a little bit. Here with that linear orientation, pull on your arms a bit and just do an isometric here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, we're going to step back into a down dog. So make sure your yoga blocks are such that you can trust them. We're going to step back one leg at a time. And then it's linear, this one too. So as you shift back, you've got a pretty straight back. Let your ears be between your arms and your pelvis is back towards your heels. And again, get a little isometric. Pull on your arms here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll just gradually lower the knees down. Okay, so now let's all grab a fixed object like a stool or a box or a chair or something to have next to you. And if it's right weak, I want to open up the right side, so that's going to be left leg up. Okay, so now right leg's going to, oh my gosh, hang on one second. Let me just get myself figured out. I want to open up the right side. So yes, this is going to be right. So you're going to have like your stool or something next to you. It's a taller thing that's going to be off to your right. And then you're going to put your yoga blocks and things off to your left. So there's a lower thing off to your left. This orientation, we're going to have the right leg forward. And again, if kneeling's not suitable for you, you can stand up. First, I would try with a pillow or something, but you could stand up and have your right leg up on something forward. So first, we're going to raise the arms up and down. And you're just trying to upright your pelvis as much as you can as we float the arms a bit up and then lower back down. Again, if your pelvis is a flashlight, shine it at the ceiling and then float your arms up and then back down. One more time. Aim your pelvis flashlight at the ceiling. Up. And then back down. Okay, so now we're going to ease off a little bit. So lay over your forward leg. So you lay over the right leg. And then I'm going to give you guys the side view. We're going to straighten the right leg a little bit and shift back. Once you're there, even slide your right foot a little bit forward. And then we're going to pivot your right leg in and out, in and out. 2, pull a little bit right and left on your arms. 3, 4, 5. Okay, from here, slide your leg back in. So you're back standing on it. You're kind of shifted halfway between front and back. Transfer your hand onto your knee and let's just slowly roll upright. Take the time to really sequentially wave your way upright. Let's get off the left knee for a second. So we're going to come down onto hands and knees. Just reach the left leg behind. Now, again, check into your arms. Can you get the arm pull? How is your head and neck orientation? Once that's all set, shift back so you do like a stretch. Lean into the ball of your foot and lean back so you get a calf and Achilles and a bottom of the foot stretch. And then back forward. Again, pulling right and left on your arms as you shift back and forward. One more time, pulling right and left on the arms as you shift back and forward. Okay, from here, left leg is down again. We're going to come back upright so the right leg is up. We're going to try to cycle through this 2 times. So from here, float your arms up one more time. Again, uprighting the pelvis as much as you can manage. And then come down. Now, your right arm is going to touch whatever your object is, and then your left arm reaches up. So it's a little bit of that leaning to the right, but it's mostly push through the bottom hand, reach through the top hand. 2 more times. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. 1 more. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. Then it's a domino, so the left arm comes up, down to start to soften you. It's actually just half of a domino. We'll come up. Now we're going to lay over the leg. Lay over your right leg, and right there you're sort of flopped and relaxed. And then we're going to take a walk over towards the left. Walk over there to the left. And then your left hand is going to come up onto your yoga block, and you might want it even in the tall position. So that from here, we're going to practice coming up. So you've got basically a linear, or a constellation. That's my favorite words. Top shoulder is a constellation to the bottom shoulder down to the bottom hand. Right there. So that instead of collapsing into the bottom shoulder, yeah, let's do 3 arm floats. Float your arms up and then down. Tune back in. Stand into the bottom arm. Make a constellation through the bottom shoulder and then the top shoulder. 2. 1 more time. 3. Okay, now we're going back to the floor. So hands to the floor. Walk back forward. Transfer your hands onto your knees, and then sequentially again, we're going to roll upright. Sequentially stacking your way up. Woo. From here, put both knees down. If you need, you can shake out your left knee for a second, and then let's do 3 more of the sit back curl ups. So remember, like a Z. You don't need to sit super low. And then it's the curling. Abdominals curl up, hamstrings pull the sits bones down as you curl up. And 2, sit back, up on the pubic bone, down on the sits bones. 1 more time. Sit back, curl up. Okay, so switch your props around, or you around, or however you want to get it done. And just keep my brain in my head. Right leg is down, left leg is forward. Okay, so first we're going to just practice balancing in this position. And if you feel like it's not going so well, feel free to touch something already just to like coax a little more stability. We're going to lift the arms up and down. And again, up and down. Can you link tailbone curling to pubic bone curling to breastbone? Last 2. One more. Okay, now forward. Well, actually, so now this side's probably a little fatigued. Straighten the front leg, fold over, and that right there is hopefully going to chill out this thigh a little bit. Your foot that's the forward foot, slide it forward even a little bit more. If this is too much, come up onto bricks or yoga blocks. I apologize, I should have said that earlier. And then go one way and the other way with your leg. If you've got your hands on your yoga blocks, you're not going to be quite as low, and that might be more ideal. That's it, and 3. Julie, I think this kind of stuff might blow you up right now, but eventually this is going to be the kind of stuff that's good for that Achilles deal. And then from here, bend your front leg. So you're about halfway between front and back. Transfer your hand onto your knees and then just practice that sequential rolling up. This is one that just gets better as you practice it. Let us get off of the right leg. So you'll come down. Reach your leg behind you. Make good choices with the arms and the upper body. And then we'll go into that stretch. Ball of the foot leading to the Achilles stretch, leading to the lower calf stretch, and forward. Pulling right and left on the hands. Don't forget to link ribs and pelvis. 3, link ribs and pelvis. 2 more times. Last one. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the daddy. So right leg is down and the left leg will be forward. Again, pad up your right knee. Hopefully we can make it through just a tad bit more up. Lower your arms into the T. Now it's the left side's going to hug towards the right, but that's pretty minimal. It's actually the push through the bottom hand and the reach through the top hand so that you're getting integrity. Yeah, your tip's a little bit left, but the arm integrity is important. One more. And then from here, we'll come out of it with a domino. So the right arm that's reaching, it starts to lower down. Come about halfway up. And then we're laying over the right leg, left leg, left leg. And hands onto the floor. So now it's a little bit more noodly. Start to walk over to the right. Again, for the stiffer amongst us, that's kind of just even a mobility drill. And then you'll put your right hand down. Come on up and then think of the constellation from the bottom hand to the right shoulder to the left shoulder. Common patterns would be to collapse into some way, but you want to integrate. Once you got that tuned in, 3 arm floats up. 2 more. 1 more time. Okay, from here, your left hand goes back down to the floor. And then we're going to walk forward. Transfer your hands back to your knee. And then sequentially stack up. Let's just cycle through that one more time. Arms go up. Lower down. Tipping towards the left. Left side hugs into the right. But really, it's contact the box and do the push through the bottom hand and the reach through the top. 2 more. Push through the bottom, reach through the top. 1 more like that. And now the arm that's up starts to drop down. We'll slowly stack up. Lay over your left leg again. It's a little bit more the non-doing. Walk yourself over. You can put your left hand down, or right hand, I mean, and then come up. And then right here, check it out. Are you somehow collapsed to your shoulder? Get the bottom arm, bottom shoulder, top shoulder, and then just 3 arm floats. 1. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. You got it, girls. 2. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. It looks good. 1 more time. Push through the bottom hand, reach through the top. Okay, now take your left hand back to the floor. And then we're going to walk our way back forward. Transfer your hand to your knee and then back to the sequential. Slowly sequence your spine back up. Nice. And then you can put both knees down, and if you still have a few more tickets on your knee, maybe rock out your right leg for a sec. We're going to do 3 more of the sit back curl ups. If you need to stand up, though, you could do this standing. Totally. If your knees are out of tickets, it's fine. Sit back, curl up. 2 more. Sit back, curl up. 1 more. Curl up. And then we're going to do our absorption with the ball underneath the head. So if you have appreciated having a little bit of a lift underneath your ball. Grab a book or something. And then you'll have the ball and the book next to you. Let's just roll back, and this is a little bit like a litmus test. Just contact your thighs, and then you're going to start to roll back over the back of your pelvis and just see, if you keep your feet on the floor, how does this go? How would you rate your limberness or the back of your pelvis and your low back? And down. Once you're there, get your stuff. It's probably in the wrong place, but try to find it, and then put the book down, and then put your top of your neck now. So this is the top of your neck. That's different than the bottom front of your neck. Now we're on the top back of the neck. And then nestle the ball in and sort of roll your head around a little bit so that you start to just wake up that top back of the neck. And then from here, we're going to go into just a little bit of like head nodding. So just nod your chin down a little bit and use that to help curl your eyebrows towards your knees, which will get you a little stretch in your scalp and then your neck, maybe even your upper back. Like a guitar string getting pulled taut. And then relax. So the guitar string isn't a guitar string anymore, it's a spaghetti noodle that got overcooked. And then do it again, nodding your chin a little bit down. Feel how that coaxes your eyebrows towards your knees, and then you get a scalp stretch, and then a neck stretch, and then a bottom of the neck stretch, and maybe even your upper back a little bit. Feel it like a taut guitar string. And then do the opposite. Be easygoing. And then one last time. Chin nodding a little bit down to set into motion the eyebrows to lead the scalp, neck, lower neck, upper back. And then relax. And then we're going to stay here. You can decide if you like that ball. You can stay here with the ball for our absorption, or if you would be happier, free to take the ball out a little bit as well. Either choice is perfect. And we're going to do maybe 10 breaths or so here. So relaxing. Taking a moment to come into stillness after all that contrast. Do 4 more breaths. Last 2. And if the ball is still with you, you can remove it. If it's already gone, that's fine also. Just take another breath or 2 there. If you took out the ball, just coming back to your senses of life without it. And then start to reach your legs out and your arms up like you're doing a morning stretch. But as you're stretching, keep tuning the ribs and the pelvis into each other. So yeah, you're reaching out through your limbs, but the ribs and the pelvis are still a unit. Reach, reach, reach. And then do the opposite. Hug your knees in, and you're going to be folded. Folded at your hips, folded at your knees. Your arms holding the legs there, and then even your arms getting to ease a little bit. And then we're going to rock up to a seated position and just finish with our invigoration. So get yourself where you're comfortable. You could sit in a tailor sit, but any other submissions are also great. So here we go. We'll go up. Now we're going to, so you're under the level of the pond with your head and with your hands, and then we're going to emerge and rotate to the right, up through your hands, up through your head, rising as you spiral. And then when we come back forward, you come back a little bit below the level of the water. And then the other way, rising up, out with your hands, out with your head as you rotate to the left. And then come back up and you're not quite as tall. Remember the swan we did at the beginning? That comes in now. So lifting through your front pubic bone, belly button, chest, opening through your collarbones. Is that area concave? Can you make it a little bit convex as your arms open? And then it's the rounding. Turn the back of the hands towards forward, and then we're going to round. Think of the eyebrows leading to the scalp, leading to the neck, leading to the upper back. Sit up one more time each side, going to the left first. You're under the water, and then lift up and out as you turn left. And then come back forward. You're under the water, lift up and out as you go right. And up. Remember our swan is the arms open. You're going to go up and forward, belly, chest, open to the collarbones, open to the base of the neck. The front bottom of the neck, let it be a little bit open. And then turn the back of the hands forward, and then we'll round. Think again of the eyebrows leading to the scalp, leading to the upper neck, leading to the lower neck, leading to your upper back, opening. And then we'll sit back up. Awesome. Nice work, girls.